Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kelvin Sampson's time in the NBA was short, but his learning curve was ample. For 6 seasons after leaving Indiana, Sampson was an assistant in San Antonio under Gregg Popovich, in Milwaukee under Scott Skiles, and in Houston under Kevin McHale. Frankly, Sampson, who won 498 games as a head coach at Montana Tech, Washington State, Oklahoma and Indiana, was humbled by the NBA. SN's March Madness HQLive NCAA bracket, live scoreboard, full TV schedule. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, said Sampson, who is prepping his 3-seed Houston Cougars squad for Sunday's NCAA tournament second-round game against 11-seed Ohio State. I don't think I was a good enough coach to help an NBA team win a game when I first got to that league. Sampson said he's a different coach at U than he was in Pullman, Norman or Bloomington. Hired by Montana Tech at 24 years old, he only learned one way to be a coach, his way. But studying under Popovich, Skiles and McHale, and learning alongside Mike Budenholzer and Brett Brown, opened his eyes to aspects of the game he'd never had to think about. If we had trouble guarding pick and roll, we just went zone, he said. I didn't know how to adjust the way those guys did. I said, wow man, I got a lot to learn. These guys are way smarter than I am. Now Sampson has elevated Houston to heights the program hasn't known since Faisal Jama roamed campus in the mid-1980s with legends such as Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler and Michael Young. These Cougars are tied with Buffalo for the nation's best record at 32-3. In his 5 seasons at UR, Sampson's teams are 115-51, and players now comprehend the depth of the basketball knowledge their coach gained during his NBA days. His coaching style definitely trickles down from the NBA, said senior Corey Davis Jr. You can tell how he runs the program in general. It's a level of intensity and just like overall intelligence that's not normal in most Division I coaches. You can definitely tell, especially when he speaks. He likes to tell stories. He has very vivid imagery, said senior Galen Robinson Jr. Like, son, you know Tim Duncan, he loved to be coached. Those guys love to be coached. I think him being around those guys, Hall of Fame guys, knowing that they want to be coached, and coaches like Coach Popovich used to get on them like he does us, definitely makes us feel like we're not alone because everybody has the same treatment. Coach Sampson, he's definitely the smartest person I've been around in terms of just knowing what to do. Yeah, I definitely think the NBA definitely helped him. Hoover, Chris Beard perfect coach to lead Red Raiders revival. Sampson said he never used to delegate authority or game planning responsibilities. Then he saw how Popovich put Budenholzer and Brown and others to work, letting them grow as coaches. He called it my hello moment. Now, he actually enjoys delegating to his aides and watching their careers evolve. Just the freedom, the delegation that Pop gave his assistants and how they came up with how to guard actions on their own, it was their decision. Sampson said. That jumped out at me. I'd never done that before. I'd made all the decisions. Sampson now assesses the schedule and assigns the scouting and game planning duties, then waits for the results. He offers his insight plenty, but sometimes his guys are set to work on their own. There's some things assistant coaches aren't ready to do, Sampson said. They're not the head coach. They can do a lot of head coaching things, but the guy that I think does the best job, the most thorough job, the guy that is going to put the time and energy and go the extra mile in terms of scouting or game prep, I want him to have the hardest teams. One of my rules is you have to watch the last 5 games. This time of year, we don't have time to go watch Ohio State's games in November and December. This time of year, you are who you are recently. So you go watch the last 5 games. And then I want somebody that's going to take the time to go look at every close game they've had, say, in conference season. What did they do with under 30 seconds left? They called timeout. What did they run? They needed a 3. What did they run? They needed a 2. What did they run? Not every assistant will be thorough maybe in something like that. That's why as a coach I assign the games. Once they do the games, I let them use their creativity in scouting reports. I don't have a template for that. More. Steve Prohm on Bama rumors. I want to be the best coach at Iowa State. Sampson staff of Alvin Brooks, 35 seasons in coaching, 21 at ARC. Kelvin Sampson, 9 seasons as a coach, 5 at Houston, and Quanez White, 5 seasons as a coach, 2 at ARC. Prepped the team well for Friday's 84-55 win over 14-seed Georgia State. Coach Sampson definitely has the final say if he sees, like, an adjustment needs to be made, Robinson said. But for the most part, it's all about detail and knowing everything about it, said Davis. I think all of our coaches in general take a great pride in whatever Coach Sampson says. They're very detail-oriented. They know all the strengths and weaknesses. They'll have us prepared every game.